Hello friends, it's 7:30 p.m. and you are tuned to the General Overseas Service of All India Radio, the voice of the nation. We are here with news, views, celebrity endorsements, write-ups, videos, vox pop, tips of the day and music for your listening pleasure. So happy tuning in.
This is the General Overseas Service of All India Radio. Namaskar. The news snippets. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be addressing the India Idea Summit today. The theme of this year's summit is Building a Better Future. The virtual event is being organized by US-India Business Council. 753,050 patients have recovered from COVID-19 in India. In the past 24 hours, 28,472 people recovered. Recovery rate has once again crossed 63%. 343,243 tests were conducted for COVID-19 in the country in the last 24 hours. The week-long lockdown in Bengaluru has been lifted from early morning today. Karnataka and its capital have seen a surge in positive cases. The state has over 71,000 cases, half of them in Bengaluru. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has said that more policy interventions are likely. Privatization policy of the government would be unveiled soon. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, in his latest book, The India Way, Strategies for an Uncertain World, has observed that India had carried three major burdens from its past: partition, delayed economic reforms, and prolonged exercise of the nuclear option. Serum Institute of India, Pune, is partnering with biopharma company AstraZeneca for manufacturing the COVID-19 vaccine candidate developed by Oxford University. Human trials in India is likely to start from next month. The institute has applied to the Drug Controller General of India for approval of human trials. India and Spain held virtual Foreign Office consultations. Both sides exchanged views on COVID-19 response and post-recovery priorities. Union Industries and Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal has said that India and US are close to a quick deal in trade-related issues. US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has accused China of exploiting the coronavirus pandemic to further its own interests. And that is the end of the news snippets.
Have you ever seen giraffes fight? Well, the bigger the animal, the higher the fight.
Was das lange an und drauf ist.
Sajjan Singh Thakur of the Times of India has recently recovered from COVID-19. He's a corona warrior who has kept his optimistic attitude during the difficult phase and now totally recovered.
Hello everybody, greetings. Our subject today is Let's Fight COVID. Be positive to remain negative. The connotation of being a positive person in life has changed sharply. COVID 19 has turned the world upside down. It's better to be called a negative person in medical terms that might decide our social status too. Our social life, which depends on our overall wellness, has gone for a toss. Since the day US President Donald Trump's tweet represented the status of the world social distancing, he was bang on. But no, we are still socially connected. But physical distance is increasing by day. Mothers and dads are not kissing their children. A most disturbing phenomenon, somewhere similar to the days when measles were the order of the day. Till the 1980s, we contracted it at least once and felt like an outcast for at least 9 days. Today, the quarantine period is reduced from almost 20 days to 17 to 12 and now 10. History repeats itself. Amid all the negativity that is transforming the most optimistic people into depressed souls, there are a few points to ponder. These views are not of an expert but of a layman, me, a COVID survivor whose two daughters along with him had tested positive on June 23rd and who received discharge letters on July 4th. Home isolation having been reduced from 17 to 12 days. The battle against COVID is long and hard, but all is not lost. There are positive sides to the battle that need to be looked at too. These views might help us change our outlook towards life and help us fight and possibly defeat the most feared disease at present, unless, of course, the symptoms are of very serious nature. Here are these. First, the numbers. India's share in daily global cases is now 12% as per a July 12 media report. With the COVID-19 caseload now, that means today, crossing 10 lakh, even as death toll in Maharashtra that accounts for 45% of India's COVID deaths stands at 11,596 by this time when I am speaking to you. However, we must not forget that as compared to the US death toll of 1,42,881 out of 38 lakh plus COVID cases, the death toll in India currently ranked third after the US and Brazil in the COVID-19 tally stands at 26,838 out of 10 lakh 78,782 cases. Brazil's numbers are 20 lakh plus cases and 78,000 plus deaths. However, it is important to mention that every single life matters. Also, so far, 6 lakh 77,856 people have recovered in India as per worldometers.info. Faster ambulance service, quick hospital admission, easy hospital bed availability, and enhanced ICU capacity among the things being discussed both by the central and state governments, it is hoped will certainly make the scenario better. Second point, Delhi model. While Union Home Minister Amit Shah said in Gurugram that India is at a good position in the battle against the coronavirus, PM Narendra Modi has also appreciated the concerted efforts of the centre, state government and local authorities in containing the COVID-19 situation in Delhi. As per a TOI report, that is Times of India, while talking of Delhi model being replicated in other states, a high-level review held by the PM concluded if close coordination between the centre and the Delhi government worked in the capital, it could click elsewhere. While the community outreach model in Ahmedabad, which is called Dhanvantri Rath, is being lauded, the meeting advised the entire NCR to follow the approach adopted in Delhi. It is also important to remember that Shah had stepped in after Delhi Deputy Chief Minister spoke of the possibility of over 5 lakh cases in Delhi by July, and after that things improved a lot as regards general health care in the capital and elsewhere. Since the center-state coordination worked well then, it is imperative that the nation fights this menace unitedly, shunning politics, since saving people's lives is more important now than anything else. Meanwhile, the Delhi government has decided to open its dispensaries and polyclinics for eligible individuals to walk in for rapid antigen testing. The dispensaries and clinics will remain open between 9 am and 12 noon on all working days as per a TOI report. Hence, the hassles about tests has been minimized. The vaccine, third point. According to media reports, the WHO says, World Health Organization, that there are currently 136 potential candidates for a COVID-19 vaccine across the world, while 21 of them have reached the human clinical trial stage. That is another piece of good news. The plasma donors. While Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal recently lauded plasma donors, the Delhi government has set up plasma banks with an objective to maintain a plasma stock from those who have already recovered from the disease as per media reports. He said it has been proven as an effective solution for the recovery of moderate patients. He was talking about plasma donation that has helped patients recover. After Delhi, plasma banks for COVID patients are being set up in other states. Fifth point, home isolation. In a revision in home isolation guidelines for the capital, infected people recovering at home may be shifted to medical facilities if they report oxygen saturation levels below normal or their body temperature rises beyond a point. Doctors generally put normal oxygen saturation levels as 95% to 100%. Here, it is important to mention home isolation works at many levels. While patients feel the comfort of home and relatives provide them enough care while taking precautions. If the general atmosphere of positivity is maintained, recovery happens faster than the usually long duration of over 15 days. During home isolation, in Delhi, the initial test is free now at government dispensaries or mohalla clinics, and the staff are very cooperative. So we were saying during home isolation, the medical staff keep calling the attendants about the patient's well-being. Apart from providing the basic medicines and oximeters to be returned after patient's recovery. While Delhi is showing the way as for the government hospitals, the authorities have ramped up facilities there too. Among the flip side is no test at all for patients whose home quarantine is over. The government may have changed the protocol, no second test, but patients and their family members do want to ensure that they are officially negative. The governments must look into this. Meanwhile, PTI quoted a Delhi government study on COVID-19 deaths saying that not a single coronavirus patient under home isolation in the city has died in July. This report was on July 12, and there has been a sharp decline in daily fatality figures in the past 2 weeks. These are other good signs amid chaos and helplessness. Delhi's overall death rate has come down to 3.02% from 3.64% in June. The protection of frontline warriors, 6 point. With reports of cops, medical and paramedical staff being threatened or harassed appearing in plenty, social media has come handy to expose the perpetrators. On Sunday last, Delhi Commission for Women Chairperson Swati Maliwal tweeted a controversy surrounding the pressure mounted on Constable Sunita Yadav, who was doing her duty in reprimanding a Gujarat minister's son who was roaming without mask. Now, I want to tell you that we need to protect frontline warriors wherever, irrespective of our affiliation or whatever. Precautions and traditional medicines. While there is no poor rich divide in the COVID sphere, with celebrities getting infected, it is precaution and alertness that help in a big way. Between the two extremes of it is nothing but flu and the ones scared to hell, we need a healthy balance of fearlessness and precautions. It applies to all those healthy or undergoing treatment. For the patients with mild symptoms and even in serious cases, it is one's positivity and mental toughness that kill the disease or minimize the risk more than the medicines. While the chief symptoms are fever and coughing, backache, breathing issues, sleeplessness, foul smell, fatigue, low BP, and loss of appetite are other signs that one should not ignore. With the doctors the world over clueless, it is important to take immunity booster medicines such as tulsi, that is basil water, amla juice, giloy juice, that is heart-leaved moonsuit juice, aloe vera juice, hot water mixed with lemon, kadha, and taking steam through vaporizer at least twice a day. Steam and hot water lemon mixture kill the foul smell you feel continuously around you as well as viruses. Boiled eggs and mangoes, in case you have lost appetite for homemade food, may help boost your strength and immunity. Most of these remedies help even healthy people as well as those home quarantined. To those under home isolation, it is advisable to read books and watch your favorite movies to keep your spirits up. That alone helps besides medicines. Some of these methods may appear dated, but they have brought people back from the brink and where Tina applies, that is, there is no alternative. It is best to do what you can. Medicine and prayers and some yoga asanas will certainly help you or change your approach to fight the disease. Take lots of fluids in case your BP is low. But always I would prefer that you consult your personal physician before doing anything that might affect your health. I have already said that this is the view of a layman. Stop the stigma, that is our 8th point. For the society as a whole, it is incumbent upon us not to make COVID patients feel like an outcast and do everything to make them feel that they are fine by sending warm wishes and calling relatives, attendants, especially if under home isolation. And in this regard, this writer has been grateful to all those who motivated us, be it office seniors, colleagues, relatives or friends. A COVID patient is a normal human being, not your astronaut whom you visualize in PPE kits. COVID patients, for that matter, all those sick, need respect and deserve to be treated well. My next point is work-life balance. Number 9. In one of my Facebook posts during my illness, I spoke about the work-life balance. I think unless we are fit, we can neither do justice to our work nor can we take care of our family and loved ones. So it is most important to maintain a healthy lifestyle and spare time for your children, family and friends that take care of your overall wellness. Also, drink lots of water and take breaks while working from home or in the office. Lastly, COVID-19 is a dreaded disease, but taking precautions such as using sanitizers, maintaining physical distance from strangers, and wearing masks while outside and a positive outlook will certainly defeat it. Be negative medically, positive in life. Here is wishing you all a healthy life. Thank you.
You are tuned to the General Overseas Service of All India Radio. We now bring you today's commentary, the India-US Naval Exercises. It is scripted by Dr. Stuti Banerjee, Strategic Analyst on American Affairs, and read by Kaushik Rai. India concluded joint naval exercises with the US Navy off the coast of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The exercises with the US involved makeovers called PASEX or passing exercises and involved various coordinated exercises such as surface action, surveillance and anti-submarine drills to check the interoperability between the two navies and sharing of best practices. The development is significant given the increased Chinese presence in the Indian Ocean. The conduct of the exercises in the Bay of Bengal in a maritime area that overlooks the Malacca Straits, a critical sea route for the international trade including China, is very significant. The exercises included 4 Indian naval ships and was being conducted with ships from the US fleet that included the USS Nimitz, a nuclear power warship which has been conducting freedom of navigation operations in the South China Sea. It came at the same time China is conducting military drills of its own in the South China Sea near the contested Paracel Islands. The Indian Navy has been on an operational alert in the Indian Ocean where scores of warships are ready for any task as a result of the border tensions between India and China after skirmishes in the Ladakh sector escalated dramatically. India has positioned warships along critical sea lanes of communications and choke points under its mission-based deployment, and the vessels could be diverted for any mission. The Indian Navy is keeping a close watch on developments in the Indian Ocean region as the Chinese naval presence has increased over the past few years in the name of anti-piracy patrols. In 2017, China opened its first overseas military base in Djibouti in the Horn of Africa. India is improving its infrastructure in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands and is also upgrading its facilities of the Indian military's Andaman and Nicobar Command. The Indian Air Force has deployed half a squadron, that is 8 to 10 aircrafts of its Jaguar fighters at the strategic Car Nicobar Air Base in a show of strength amidst the heightened tension along the line of actual control. The naval exercises with the US follow on the heels of a similar exercise conducted between India and Japan last month near the Malacca Straits. India, the United States and Japan are close naval partners in the region and take routine part in joint exercises including the Malabar naval exercises. With the likelihood of Australia taking part in the trilateral naval exercises in the future, all the 4 countries of the Quad, the Quadrilateral, which is for a free, inclusive and open Indo-Pacific, will be part of the exercises for the first time. It will be the first time all members of the regional grouping will be engaged at the military level. China has been wary of the grouping, which was first formed in 2004 to help nations in the Indo-Pacific after the tsunami and revived it in 2017. Beijing is also watching the event since the 4 countries upgraded the forum to the ministerial level in 2019. The US Defense Secretary Mark Esper, meanwhile, said at a time when China is engaging in systematic rule-breaking and coercion, the US sees its growing security cooperation with India as one of the all-important defense relationships of the 21st century. The joint naval exercises in the Indian Ocean between the Indian Navy warships and a US Navy carrier strike group led by the USS Nimitz reflects the shared commitment of the 2 countries to boost naval cooperation in support of a free and open Indo-Pacific, he said. Secretary Esper was speaking on the US strategy and vision for security in the Indo-Pacific during a virtual event organized by the International Institute for Strategic Studies, IISS. Mr. Esper made numerous references to what he described as rule-breaking and coercive behavior by Beijing, especially in South China Sea and against members of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN. That was today's commentary, India-US Naval Exercises. It was scripted by Dr. Stuti Banerjee, Strategic Analyst on American Affairs, and read by Kaushik Rai. This broadcast came to you from the General Overseas Service of All India Radio.
Minu Bakshi's ghazals continue to inspire the creative instincts of artists in many different fields of endeavor. Here is an exceptional ghazal written and sung by Minu Bakshi.
संजोए हैं मैंने जिन आँखों में कई सपने संजोए हैं क्यों आज तूने उन्हीं में क्यों आज तूने उन्हीं में मोती पिरो हिजर रोए हैं, तारों के साथ हम भी शब हिजर रोए हैं। मैंने जिन आँखों में तुझसे बिछड़ के चल